will be a good fishing trip. If we have a good anglers like Henry.
No. I'm the photographer, I'm not the angler. That's awesome.
It's a great weekend talking about rods, testing all the different rods. We was on the Skyline, new Skyline this morning, and showed the people in auto. And now I'm on the Black Swan, and look at this beauty. The corners on this. It's really fantastic.
Very, very angry. Look at those fins.
Would you not be first?
Yeah, I want to go back in the water.
I would be angry.
But
very good.
That's very.
Thank you.
That was some lovely bass that we caught there, and we caught a couple of more that you didn't see because it was a nighttime fishing and the conditions weren't good for a picturing and video. But let's have a look on the lures that we caught them on, and most of all, let's have a look at the rods and talk to the main man about the rods themselves to see what's on the market right now, why are they what they are, and what's coming up. That was some nice bass that you've seen there, isn't it? And look, it's a beginner's look. The guys are absolutely amazing. So we have Ruslan from Favorite just behind the camera at the moment. He came in and on the very first cast ever in Ireland, he got a lovely bass. And then Ivan, which cast in the night session it was before you got your first one?
Yeah, actually it was the first cast. Yeah, but it was not the last because I get some after the sun.
Yeah, we had some good fishing in the nighttime. Ivan got a couple of lovely fish. Ivan, how did you find the style of fishing that we are doing here in Ireland for bass?
It's kind of interesting because before I did bass fishing, I mean like saltwater bass fishing with hard lures mostly and soft lures, but different style like K-Tech swing impact or easy shiner, so it's not so slim.
Yes.
Swim bait, yeah.
And you fished for bass all around world. You fish Mediterranean, you fish for the Japanese bass.
Actually, yeah. I had some experience before. It was Mediterranean, it was Japan and China also.
And how do you find the Irish bass?
Yeah, it's nice. I like it because first it's good average size, so not so much small, good average size and conditions. It's lovely, I like it. It's a lot of rocks, everything, so like low tide, high tide is big difference and it's very interesting fish.
And on a day like we have today, it's hardly a nicer place around, isn't it?
Yeah, it was quite hard daytime and night is totally different because you never see where you cast and you receive very strong bites.
It's something it's fishing, very exciting fishing. So why do live stick did the damage during the nighttime fishing, worked very slowly, no twitches, no nothing, just a slow retrieve, and I said not everyone subscribed to a slow retrieve, but I asked Ivan to go slow, and then when he goes slow to go twice slower. And first cast and a few other fish that night on the white do live stick. And during daytime, we had some good time using the Evo Bass Sabre, the 150 version, in this one in the dark blue. We got some nice fish, the one you've seen, the 67 centimeters, also the one that Ruslan got on the first cast. They both came to that lure. So overall, great weekend. The conditions weren't the best for the fishing, but look, It was about talking rods, it was about fishing, it was about experiencing the lovely views as well. So moving on to rods, we have a couple of nice models here. So you brought plenty of them. Now, I fished most of them already. I love the Black Swan. I love the previous Skyline, and I'm using the new Skyline already. But you brought many more models that I haven't seen before, and I had a chance to actually try everything from short rods to a long rod and heavy and lightweight. So it's really, really great experience. But tell me, between Henry and myself, we are absolutely mind blown by the Black Swan range. How did you do it?
I think the most important in Black Swan, it's idea, because it's rod for like fishermen and anglers who know what he need, who has some experience to fishing in some condition, and he understand how rod could work. Well, what he need from the rod, and we make it like pure function. Not any small like fancy details, everything. So it's actually it's very simple for components. We just use EVA. We don't use even butt cap here, just pure EVA. So why we keep the light? It's very light. We keep the weight low and make as best blank as we can on this time. Very good. Nowadays technology allow us to make.
Excellent. So when Ivan says it's a lightweight, this is the lightest rod in that class, I think, on the market.
Yeah, maybe.
I definitely haven't seen anything lighter. But instead of opinion, just to give some facts, this is 7.7 medium heavy, casting 10 to 36 grams, and it's weighing 90 grams. And then the one model down in terms of casting range, so the medium one casting up to 24 grams, that's 85 grams. That's unbelievable. That's only 3 times the size of the lure we're casting. And it is 20 to 30%. It's 20% lighter than the Skyline TZ, which was the previous top range of the model. So you said you've used the minimalist design and not too many components to keep the price down. And these rods retail at over 300 euros. You've made that the way you did just to keep it all about the function, just to have a very light, very well functioning rod.
Right.
Okay, that's great. And using today's technology, we had that chat yesterday with Henry and yourself. Using today's technology, can you actually make that rod any better at the moment?
No, for functions, for blank, currently, no, we cannot. We are looking for the way, for sure. We're always looking for new technology, for new carbon, for new maybe some components, but nowadays, no. Like maybe 1 or 2%. Not more. But I think when we will have opportunity to make it like 10% better, we will do it.
Excellent. And just tell me one more thing before we move on, because it's really fascinating, and I'm trying to explain now. I've been using them, again, with Henry. We had such a blast using these rods and fishing with them, but it's difficult to convey just how good they are. But definitely they are the lightest. They are very, very well functioning. If someone wants a very top-end rod that will be effortless to fish with, extremely light, very well balanced, that's the rod to go for. But with all of that, there is actually a lot of strength in the rod as well, and that's because you're using this T11G carbon.
Yeah, right. T1100G, we call it. Yeah, it's kind of special carbon. It was developed by Toray company. It belongs to Toray.
Japanese.
Yeah, Japanese Toray company. And before, like several years ago, it was only available for Japanese market. And then they allowed to use it for other countries, and we use it. Actually, the main point is that it's around 30% more stronger than the standard carbon with same models. So it's 33 model.
So it's 30% more stronger.
Yeah.
But it's 20% lighter than a Skyline TZ.
It's the rod is lighter because we use less material. It's stronger, so why we use less material, so the blank is light.
So just to get that right, because it actually took me a while yesterday to understand this. So what you said is it's not that Favorite cannot make a better rod at the moment. It is that using the current technology that's out there and using the best Japanese Toray carbon, this is the best kind of a blank that can be made. Regardless from the action, kind of technically, this is the best blank that can be made right now.
Yeah, I think so. It's now we have kind of age for blank making that we cannot pass through because I have some new technology.
Regardless from the company, that's the okay.
Yeah, I think it's now for all fish and tackle rods business.
Very, very well done, Ivan. Big kudos from me for that rod. I absolutely love using this. And even though I love my 7.7, I've been using the 8.5 and the 9 for the lengths, and they are absolutely amazing. They really are. But look, we could talk about the Black Swan probably for 2 hours. Let's have a quick chat about the other rods. So we have the new Skyline here. This is due to be released late autumn?
Around
the late autumn.
October, November.
And just explain, because previously you had two models. You had the Skyline TZ, which costed about 350 in Ireland, and you had the Skyline Alconite, which costed about 200 in Ireland. And now you have one new model, which is still being designed. We are testing it at the moment. So just explain, what is it replacing? Is it replacing the TZ version or the Alconite version?
Alconite for sure.
Alconite version.
So it's standard version, because now we have Black Swan on top range with TZ, and for old Skyline actually it was not so big difference. It was the same length, just different guides and different cosmetics.
Okay. And can you tell us something about this rod? It is lighter again than the previous Skylines, both, even the Skyline TZ, and it's because once again you went for this T1100G carbon.
Okay, so the difference first in blank, so we use here the same T1100G carbon, and another one actually it's even more better, more new, M40X called, and it's also from Toray. The difference that it's more high models, so it's 40X, means 40-ton models, but it's also like around 30% stronger than normal 40X, even from Toray.
Okay.
So why it, we can make more lighter rod again, more sensitive, more lighter, more like stiff. Yeah, this is the main for Skyline.
But the action is different, yeah? So this is faster rod, so the action is very similar to the previous Skyline, is it?
Yeah, action is very, very similar, but it's more light.
And it's very, very fast, whereas the Black Swan range is more forgiving, and it is easier to use for any angler, regardless if he's a novice or an advanced angler, right?
For such kind of condition, for casting lures from shore, yeah. I think it's more easy to cast with Black Swan than Skyline, because it depends. Some people like such kind of action, like Skyline have more tip action. So if you check it, I can show you. It's more works like tip section. It's a little bit more flexible, and here is much more stiff, and here much more stiff. So it's kind of like triangle, like carrot.
Okay.
And
do the same with the Black Swan?
And Black Swan, it's more, how to say, it's more slim here and here. So it's do little bit different bending. Okay, it's also work with
fast as well.
And then, it's more, how to say,
it's a fantastic feel throughout the blank, And maybe let's do this, because these are both 7.6 mH. So if I hold them here, okay. Yes,
this is the difference, you see.
So you can see the difference. The Skyline, which is the further away, goes more straight and then bends, whereas the Black Swan bends more throughout.
Right. Okay, that we speak about the difference in blank of new Skyline, but also we have some difference in guides. Let me explain. Before we use Fuji Alconite guides, now we use the guides generally from DKK company, DKK brand. It's stainless steel, the first 3 guides, and very slim insert. It's actually totally the same as Torzite insert, but guide frame is stainless steel. But on top section, here, from here and to tip top, we use titanium frame. Titanium frame with same very slim insert, but it's not from Fuji, it's from DKK brand.
Okay, very good.
So why it's kind of very light? It's important to have light guides on the top of the rod.
Excellent, thank you very much, Ivan. And then we'll move on. There are two more rods that I want to talk in a second, but we'll just go very quickly and say that obviously we have the X1. So this rod is your best sellers. This is the most budget-friendly range. They are retailing at under 100 euros. And this is a very, very functional rod for a bass fishing within that price range.
Yeah.
Anything else to add?
Yeah, I can say I can call it, already we call it like workhorse. So here we invest mostly in blank, in function, and we to keep the good price, we use like not cheap, but like standard, not high-end components, and make as best blank as we can make for this price. So we call it just workhorse.
And you know what? I really like that it doesn't look like it's a budget rod. It looks like much more expensive rod than it is. In fairness, the style of the guides, even though they're different guides, but the style of the guide is similar to the most expensive rod. So it's a really, really nice approach. And I think someone starting or just wanting a second rod or more budget-friendly rod would be absolutely delighted with that option. And then we have something interesting. So with two more options to talk about. So Totem. This is very, very lightweight, and it's really a fun rod to use. We've been using it yesterday. Not this particular model, but it was really nice to cast. Mm-hmm. What's this story? What's...
story for Totem that we have kind of big gap between X1 and Skyline and then Black Swan. So we have here the gap. So we decided, for price range, so we decided...
And just to explain, when you say a gap, so the X1s are about 80 euros in Ireland. The new Skylines will be the same as the previous Alconite.
Yeah, around
200.
Around.
Yeah, and then the Black Swans, the top of the range is 300, 320 euros. So you were looking for something in between the Skyline and the X1.
Yeah. So why we decided to add some model in between? Because not all people, even like if you advanced angler, maybe you cannot afford to buy Black Swan. So we make the blank is very similar for action for Black Swan. It's a little bit less, it's a little bit heavier. Yeah, maybe a little bit less sensitive, but action is very similar. We also use here T1100G, but small quantity of this carbon because it's cheaper. So, and if we make the price range, it's around 150.
Okay, and you know what? I get a lot of anglers asking me, look, I'd like to get a nice, fast, lightweight rod for a fishing for bass, and my budget is about that. So there is a lot of anglers that want to find a very good rod in that price range. And the X1, while it's great, you know, that's a big step up going from X1 to the Totem. That's based on the same very good carbon, the same style of guide, stainless steel guides, very, very lightweight, fast action. It's really fun to use. And the last one, that's something interesting that I don't think anyone has seen before. Sorry, they didn't see because it's using your patented grip. I've got this rod from Ivan yesterday to go and give it a few casts, and I was really surprised by the rod. So it looks different, but I didn't know why does it look different. But essentially, you've made this one piece that goes into a handle, and because of that, it's getting more sensitive. And this little minimalist wheel grip is a very, very nice kind of rubberized to use. There is a small handle, so it's a lightweight rod. But just tell us what's the idea behind this rod?
Yeah, actually it's kind of special project. We thought maybe to launch it on our favorite brand anniversary. And before we had the rod with same technology. The name is Solo. And it was only two models, so very light, like ultralight rod for micro jigging. And now we decided to make some special kind of project also with very high-end carbon blend, but the main things here is a special technology that we call it iGrip and patented it. Yeah, you are right. So the blank here and handle is one piece, totally one piece. There is no connection in between.
Yeah, so I've been using this rod yesterday. It is a high-end. It has all the components of the Black Swan. It has the amazing guides. It has a very, very nice blank. I haven't been lucky enough to catch a fish on it, but I really look forward to getting one. When can we expect these rods on the market?
Oh, I'm not sure. I think it will be next season.
Next season.
And it will be like limited model.
We'll be talking more about them as they come onto the market.
Yeah.
But what we can expect this year is the new Skyline,
right,
and the new Totem. Right. The Totem should be slightly earlier, maybe start September.
September, yeah.
Yeah, and maybe a little bit later we should be expecting the new Skylines.
Right, right.
Okay, Ivan, so thank you for your time. That was great to see you. I really enjoyed fishing with you and Henry and Ruslan. We had a great time. We've caught a couple of fish and we had a great chat about the rods. We've been lucky to test a lot of them. How did you like Ireland?
Yeah, I like too much. So thank you, Martin, for this very nice trip for Seabass fishing, and I think I will come back soon.
You are more than welcome to come back. And Henry was saying all evening yesterday that we need to do another trip because it was such a good time.
Yeah.
So thanks again.
Thank you.
Great to see you.
Thank you, Martin.
Okay, super. Happy?
Yeah.